problem 777E, Codeforces round 401 div 2. So in this we've been given like n rings. Each ring has an inner radius, outer radius and a height. We need to find a way to arrange these rings such that the total height of all rings should be maximum possible under the constraint that the we stack the ring J on top of ring I. Then first of all, the outer radius of J should be less than equal to the outer radius of I, and furthermore the outer radius of J should be uh, greater than should be greater than the inner radius of I. So what this means is if R2 is placed above R1, first of all, from the question statement it is pretty clear that the uh, outer radii should be non-increasing order. So and the for if R2 is above R1, then the inner radius, let's call this the inner radius of R1 of yeah inner radius of R1. The inner radius of R1 should be less than the outer radius of R2. This is the outer radius of R2. Yeah, so let's define a DP. So first of all, let's sort all the rings according to capital Ri, that is the outer radius. That we want to reverse sort, and let's define DP as the maximum height possible of a sequence ending exactly at ring I. So the transition for this DP is DP of I is equal to height of I plus DP of J, where J plus maximum of DP of J, where J is all the indices less than I, such that the inner radius of J is less than the outer radius of I. So what we mean by this is J is any ring such that I can be placed on top of J, right? And for all such rings, we need to find the maximum possible height of a sequence ending exactly at J. Now, an observation is we don't need to find the maximum of all of these J's. Just finding the biggest J satisfying this condition is sufficient. The reason being is that let's suppose J1 and J2 satisfy this condition, that is AJ1 is less than BI and AJ2 is less than BI. If J1 and J2 both of these satisfy this condition, my claim is that it is sufficient to just consider J1 instead of considering the max of J1 J2. The reason being J1 dp of J1 itself consists of the contribution of J2, and the reason for that being that if we can prove that if these two conditions hold, then AJ1 then BJ1 is less than is greater than then BJ1 is greater than AJ2. If this condition can be proven to be holding true, then we can say that yes, we considering only J1 would do the trick for us. And proving this, it turns out, is pretty straightforward, because AJ2 is less than BI, we know from given. BI is less than equal to BJ1, since this is a non-increasing sequence. From these two, it can be proven that AJ2 is less than BJ1. Now, once we have this, the original problem is now reduced to this problem, and this problem can be solved using stacks. Why? Because the intuition behind this is that for every j, once we have established for the current I, aj is greater than equal to bi, that renders the jth ring useless, because for every I greater than for every I dash greater than I, aj greater than equal to bi dash would hold true always if aj greater than equal to bi holds. So for every ring j, we need to delete it only once. uh, so hence each j is rejected only once at max. uh, this provides us intuition for using the stack, and the code looks like this. So this is taking the input array, this is defining the dp, initializing the dp with the first element, then we sorted the input array according to the outer radii, and the way we propagate the dp is keep removing elements from the stack till aj is greater than equal to bi. This is bi, this is aj, and keep removing elements from the stack till this is happening. Once we have uh, the condition that aj, once we have the condition that where is the condition? Once we have the condition that aj is less than bi, once we have found the appropriate j, then add dp of j, st dot top is j, then add dp of j to dp of I, push I to the stack, and calculate the maximum of uh, current answer and dp of I. Yeah, that would be the new answer. This is how we calculate the answer.